Good evening, dear friends in all countries from East and West Europe. A very warm welcome to our 46th session Come Together. I'm very glad to see so a lot of people. For the moment, we are 86 coming from very different countries, and you will see and hear us this evening. This evening is dedicated for some special reason, which is not a funny one, really not. You know all the horrible war in Ukraine. We are all very moved by, and we all are unhappy and don't know what we can do. A lot of us try to do something in the towns where are a lot of refugees. Others are sending materials which are needed in Ukraine or on the borders. But all who are here this evening will be here to express our emotions, to express our solidarity and our very big wish that the future will be a peaceful future, that politicians will find solutions, but we will express our emotions and that we are willing to give our contribution. And so I thank a lot to all of you who are here this evening, but especially to our actors. You know, it's from friend to friend. It's not an artistic session. It's a session to give our heart to the others. And this is the most we can. And so thank you, and let us start. We have a program with a mixture of songs and poems and some other things you will see. And I asked Wilhelm from Germany, from Mannheim, to start with a very well-known song of peace. And I'm sure even if you don't understand the words, the melody you will know and you will understand about what we are going on.
Good evening and hello to everybody in these important times to be together and give help to us and to the Ukrainian people. Pete Seeger, an American singer-songwriter, having in mind the results from the Second World War, wrote a song which is called Where Have All the Flowers Gone? This song tells about flowers, girls, men, and soldiers, and how they die, and how flowers are on the ground again after the soldiers have died. This song was translated, was wrote in 1955. It was translated to European languages like France, where it is called Dites-moi où sont les fleurs, and also in German, and it's called Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind. Since the Second World War, we had a lot of reasons to sing this song, and even now we have to sing it. To be honest, for me, it's a long time that I sang it, but now it's urgent, and I will sing it for you and for us all, and for the Ukrainian people. Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind, wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind, was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind, Mädchen pflückten sie geschwind. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind, wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind. Was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind. Männer nahmen sie geschwind. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen? Sag mir, wo die Männer sind. Wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Männer sind. Was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Männer sind. Zogen fort, der Krieg beginnt. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen? Sag, wo die Soldaten sind. Wo sind sie geblieben? Sag, wo die Soldaten sind. Was ist geschehen? Sag, wo die Soldaten sind. Über Gräbern weht der Wind. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen? Sag mir, wo die Gräber sind. Wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Gräber sind. Was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Gräber sind. Blumen blühen im Sommerwind. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind. Wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind. Was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind. Mädchen pflückten sie geschwind. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen?
Wilhelm, thank you very much. Yes, it is a big question when and how not we can understand this terrible war and all the consequences here and everywhere. But now I will ask our former state secretary, a lot of you know her well, Mrs. Erler. She is now in Berlin, and she had been a good friend of Danube Networkers when she had state secretary in Baden-Württemberg and helped us a lot. And she's very linked with us also in these days. And she will give us a short statement in the name of all of us and to all of us. Gisela Erler, the floor is to you.
Well, hello, dear friends. I must admit that I just cried because I did not think I would ever have to sing this song again. It was a song of my youth in the 50s and the 60s. I will stop crying, but it just overcame me. Well, anyhow, unfortunately, I'm not a singer, I'm not an artist, I'm just an old-fashioned politician, very dedicated to the idea of civic participation. With more civic participation in Russia, this would not have happened. It needs a totalitarian regime to let something like this happen. So this again shows the need for civil society. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you, Carmen, again for with your group organizing this wonderful meeting in such speed. We're all anxious, we're helpless. We're watching a very brutal murder of civilians, etc. I learned a new word, which is called urbicide, the murder of cities. Karl Schlögel, a very famous expert and historian in Germany, just wrote about this. It's the destruction of some of the most beautiful and cherished cities of Europe happening at the moment, and seems not so easy to stop that from happening. So it's urbicide, new word that we are learning. We are also in Germany feeling not just helpless, also a bit guilty, because we don't know really, and we are thinking, trying to find out, should our politicians have done things differently? It's a long question, because of course it is not useless to think about cooperation with Russia, and but obviously there were many illusions, and so now we are where we are. This meeting, however, gives us a sense of unity, a sense of being together, of acting together, of sharing emotions and sharing values, of joint grief, and of developing ideas together. Is there anything wrong? I hear, okay. It gives us the sense of togetherness, which is so crucial in times of horror. The people, of course, in Ukraine are feeling this in a very different way down in their subway stations and in their cellars. We want to support the people and the culture of Ukraine. The culture of Ukraine is not enough known as Ukrainian. It's often understood as Russian. In Germany, very few people understand that there is a Ukrainian genuine culture. And what we want to support the right of freedom and self-determination for the Ukrainians, and also for simply for a peaceful life. We admire and respect this government and their army and all the civilians under these murderous conditions. It is the first time in my life that I must say I admire an army. It's a very new feeling. We, of course, support the refugees. We want to support them and help them all over Europe. It's amazing how all over Eastern Europe, in these poor countries, the people mobilize all their energy, all their what they have. They don't have a lot, but they share it freely. Moldavia, for example, has taken in more refugees than any other country in Europe per capita, which is amazing. But also Romania and Bulgaria and Poland. And this is the first time in a long time that, for example, Poland and also Hungary are seen as as acting together with the European community. I hope this will reinforce their sense, the sense also of the Eurosceptics to belonging to Europe and not to always be so hostile towards Europe. We also see for the first time that these refugees are now getting granted the right to work, to social security, to live freely and in all over Western Europe. That is a very big step. This law was already developed after the Bosnian War 30 years ago, but now it is applied for the first time. And I hope this is also a big step for Europe acting together in this way and also for the future. We have huge demonstrations. Again, today, hundreds of thousands were marching in Germany, I think also in many other European countries. And Berlin has been transformed into a huge camp for people arriving them, welcoming them at the main station, now at the airport and so forth. So it's a big act also of civil society. Well, I hope that in the future, in spite of all these terrible things that we are now going through, we will have a stronger will in all of Europe to pay more attention to Eastern Europe in support and also to cooperate. We have always in the Danube region done this together, and Carmen and Eloy and the Danube Networkers have contributed with you incredibly to this a part of European policy. It has not been regarded very highly. It had no great esteem, but now also in our state government, people understand it's important to strengthen these links to Eastern Europe, in the Danube region especially. Well, I don't want to give a long speech. I want to tell you that we have this new foreign minister woman, just over 40 years old, Annalena Baerbock, who says she's a feminist foreign minister. She always mentions and thinks of this situation of women and children in policies. She also went in the middle of these battles now, and she went to Moldova yesterday, and she organized now an airlift. You remember the airlift to Berlin in 1948? Now she has thought up the idea of an airlift from Moldova to not just Western Europe, but also to the United States and Canada. So linking this issue also to other big Western states. I just want to remind us that we should not only think of the Ukrainians and or the refugees and the plight of these people. We should also think of the many, many dissidents in Russia. Russia has turned into a new Stalinist regime. The British Weekly Economist, just on the front page, called this a new Stalinism. And there is a new gulag, and many thousands of young people are being put there now because they are speaking up for peace, for Ukraine, also for their own rights to freedom. Let's also think of the Russian parents who now, even if they believe in Putin and his lies, are seeing their young sons, children practically, there are 17, 18-year-olds from Eastern Siberia are being sacrificed in Ukraine. It is a terrible situation, and let us also think with empathy of all these people, and for the future, when there will be peace and when there will be a Marshall Plan for Ukraine, we also have to give up hatred against Russia and Russians and think how to, in the long run, cooperate in Europe with Russia. That will have to be, well, I don't know when. It was the hope of my generation. It is now the hope of the next generation. I hope we will succeed, and I hope we contribute tonight. Thank you very much. Also the artists and the people who can express this much better than a politician can. So let's have a good evening together. Thank you.
Dear Gisela, I think we are all very touched by your words, moved in our hearts.
Traducerea va începe din nou.
And I propose, Leos, zu mir bitte, and I propose that we take 1 minute of silence to think about the victims of the war, the heroes battling for democracy and peace, and for all people suffering and for all people willing to change this world in a peaceful world.
Шаг к войне. Россия, Грузия, Украина.
Thank you for having taken this moment of silence, which is so necessary for all of us. And I'm very happy to greet now 95 people coming from a lot of different countries and expressing their will, their readiness to be together, to have a common peaceful Europe and world. And I will ask Elena Amenescu from Bucharest, Romania, to read a self-made poem concerning peace.
Thank you. Thank you.
Und
I
Leo,
will
bitte
recite
den Text einspielen.
Îndemn pentru pace. Ridicați-vă, popoare, și cântați păcii, imn de înălțare. Nu vedeți cum războiul aduce în lume întunecare? Chipul înverșunat al urii se ascunde în volbura nopții și pregătește cadou veșniciei tinerii trimiși în ghearele morții. Eroii căzuți purtau în inimi lumină și dragoste multă. Însetați de iubire se avântau în cântec și joc, dar nu vor mai purta haine de nuntă. Botezul copiilor lor nu va mai avea loc. Lașilor, lacomilor, avarilor, criminalilor care porunciți atrocități, luați aminte, să vă fie frică. Prin faptele voastre vă depărtați de Dumnezeu, de toate lucrurile sfinte, iar viețile jertfite cheamă. Ridicați-vă, popoare care doriți să înflorească pacea, bucuria și copiii să ne crească liniștiți. Alungați din minte ura și mânia. Bucurați-vă de soare. Rămână dragostea unul față de altul, așa cum ne-a învățat prea înaltul să trăim cu toții împreună. Mulțumesc.
Elena, great thanks to you and
Thank you.
for expressing your feelings. We will put all the text in English translation later in the channel, and so we can also understand, but I think you express by your voice, by your heart, all feelings. Thank you a lot.
Yes.
Now we will go over to something you all know, but perhaps for a long time you have not thought about, because it was so clear, the rights of and peace and so on. But now, Leo, please go on. We will hear about the Human Rights Charter, and Jana will give an introduction. But before, I hope, hallo Leo, bitte spiel die PowerPoint ein. We will have a song, not a song, a chorus. And with this chorus, we will sing all together. And we will sing in English, and it's very easy to sing it, you will see. All we are saying is give peace a chance. It's a song from John Lennon, and I asked Wilhelm to sing it for us and with us, and to learn to all of us how to sing it with all our heart. And if you like, you can also make movements and so on. It's really, all we are saying is give peace a chance. Wilhelm, up to you. And then we will start with the declarations.
Thank you, Carmen. Just a few words about this song. John Lennon and Yoko Ono, just after they have married in 1969, made some activities and actions. They introduced journalists to their bedroom in hotels and they made something which was later called like a bed in. But asked from the journalists why they do all these activities, they just said, all we want to say is give peace a chance. And this was especially having in mind that in Vietnam, a war was going on and people and soldiers died. And this we thought we had overcome, but now it's present again. So we will sing this together, and I just start with this chorus and introduce you to follow me, to sing with me then when I repeat it. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. And once again, a third time, just for training. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
So, thank you, and we will repeat this chorus this evening in the next minutes between the different paragraphs. And I ask Jana to explain a little bit the Human Rights Charter and why we have chosen this paragraph, because there are a lot, there are 30, if I remember well, 30 articles. It's too long, but so we made a selection, and Jana let us know. And by the way, Jana is a new member of our team, Eloy Tim, a very warm welcome. It's the first time that she's here this evening.
Well, yes, the human rights are fundamental rights to which a person is inherently entitled simply because she or he or it is a human being. So everyone, everywhere should have these rights. But the problem is that the idea of the human rights is an ideal, which is not there everywhere. And right now we can sadly see that the war is the opposite of the condition we need for human rights, because the most important prerequisite, the most important condition for the human rights, to strive for them, to fulfill them, is peace. So all we need to do and we can do is give peace a chance and give human rights a chance. And the human rights articles we've just chosen, they all have something to do with the situation in Russia, in Ukraine, here in Germany, and in all the Danube countries, and in France, and from all the countries where we are. It's simple things as we are all have a right to live, but it's also about education, about freedom of speech. And I encourage you to have a closer look to the human rights later and to go into it, because it's so crucial and so important for us to know that we have these rights, but we have also to strive for. So let's start with the first one.
So I asked Tara from Belgrade. Everybody will read the article in the mother language to have the impression that we are united, even we have a diversity of languages and also of countries, ethnics, and also of our own cultures. But we have something on the basics as common, and so let us hear. Tara from Belgrade.
Thank you. So, sva ljudska bića rađaju se sa se slobodna i jednaka u dostojanstvu i pravima. Ona su odabrana razumom i svešću i treba jedni prema drugima da postupaju u duhu bratstva. So that would be the first one in my language, in Serbian.
Thank you, Tara. And I asked Vincent from Van and Marie-Madeleine to read in France.
Chacun peut se prévaloir de tous les droits et de toutes les libertés proclamées par la présente déclaration, sans distinction aucune, notamment de race, de couleur, de sexe, de langue, de religion,
d'opinion politique ou de toute autre opinion, d'origine nationale ou sociale, de fortune, de naissance ou de toute autre situation.
Merci, Van. Emily from
Article 3. Всеки има право на живот, свобода и лична сигурност.
Thank you, Emily. Also, this third article is a very important one, and what give us a common activity, we will sing. Go on.
All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Oh,
we are saying, give peace a chance.
It's not so easy to sing together by this Zoom session, but I think it's very coming from our heart, and we are all very involved, and this is the most important. So we go on to the next article. It's Crystal. Crystal is here. I haven't seen her, so I will read it. Niemand darf willkürlich festgenommen, in Haft gehalten oder des Landes verwiesen werden. Giovanna.
Sì.
Giovanna Mula di Bari, Italy.
Articolo 14, non 12. Mi serve l'articolo 14 in italiano.
Also Menschenrechtsartikel vorgelesen. In verschiedenen
Ogni individuo ha diritto di cercare e di godere in altri paesi asilo dalle persecuzioni. Questo diritto non potrà essere invocato qualora l'individuo sia realmente ricercato per reati non politici e per azioni contrarie ai fini e ai principi delle Nazioni Unite. Non lo so.
Carmen, wir hören dich nicht.
Dankeschön, Anna. This is Anna from Tigesh, Republic of Moldavia, and she will read the Article 15.
Articolul 15. Orice persoană are dreptul la o cetățenie. Nimeni nu poate fi lipsit în mod arbitrar de cetățenia sa sau de dreptul de a-și schimba cetățenia.
Oh, all these languages, it's so moving.
All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
So we will take the next articles. It's up to Anna from Timișoara, Romania.
Articolul 19. Orice persoană are dreptul la libertatea de opinie și de exprimare. Acest drept include libertatea de a avea opinii fără interferență și de a căuta, primi și difuza informații și idei prin orice mijloace și indiferent de frontiere.
Thank you, Anna, for Article 19. And we go on. Leo? Article 21, it's oral from Great Britain.
Everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country, directly or through freely chosen representatives.
Thank you, thank you.
We are saying
Give
is a chance. All we are saying give is a chance.
Thank you to all of you, and we will continue. From Rosemarie, Graz, Austria, Artikel 25.
Jeder Mensch hat das Recht auf einen Lebensstandard, der seine und seiner Familie Gesundheit und Wohl gewährleistet, einschließlich Nahrung, Kleidung, Wohnung, ärztliche Versorgung und notwendige soziale Leistungen, sowie das Recht auf Sicherheit im Falle von Arbeitslosigkeit, Krankheit, Invalidität oder Verwitwung, im Alter sowie bei anderweitigem Verlust seiner Unterhaltsmittel durch unverschuldete Umstände.
Thank you, Rosemarie. Also, this is a very important article. And now up to Dijana from Ljubljana, Slovenia. Excuse me, not Slovenia, Slovenia.
Yeah. So this is the Article 26. It's about the right to education. Vsakdo ima pravico do izobraževanja. Izobraževanje je brezplačno, vsaj na osnovnih in temeljnih stopnjah. Izobraževanje na osnovni stopnji je obvezno. Tehnično in poklicno izobraževanje je splošno dostopno. Visokošolsko izobraževanje je vsem enako dostopno na podlagi doseženih uspehov.
Thank you very much, Dijana. Thank you to all of you, and for all of you who listened so with a lot of intention to what we heard. And as Jana said, it would be good to take all the declaration article to article and to reflect about and to think about what we can do to realize what is in. But now, a last time, let us sing all together and with all our heart.
All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Thank you very much. I hope we will have it in our heart and in our mind, and say it to all our friends, neighbors, and other people. Give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Now we will hear a very impressive song from Nikolov from Varna. It's a Romanesque peace song. And so up to you, Nikolai. Thank you for coming.
Благодаря. Duyamala pirena. Duyamala pirena. Von Pedroma dikena. Rodem vace manusha. Odeulenge vakirda. Tumensan vace chave. Tumensan baktale. Tumensan butlace. Devlet Samolina. Samoles meslavina. Samomiri me manga. Saborenge jivoto. Devlet Samolina. Samoles meslavinas, samomiri me manga, saborenge jivoto. Hey! Samomiri me manga. Hey! Saborenge jivoto. Hey! Samomiri me manga. Hey! Saborenge jivoto. Danke.
Thank you, Nikolai. We want peace for all. This is a very good message. Thank you, thank you. And now I will ask our good friends coming from Great Britain, Stan and Eileen, to give us some words of their personal experience in these days.
Eileen and I, like so many others, are deeply distressed by what is happening to the people of Ukraine. We are old enough to remember from our childhood what it was like to be in the air raid shelters and to see the glow of the city on fire. Our hearts go out to those suffering from destruction and displacement. At this dark moment, in spite of the ambitions of political leaders, we cling to the belief in the unity of people, no matter where they live.
Thank you. Thank you, Eileen and Stan. We are being together since a long time, and you have been experienced by so different events in your life, also war events. And we appreciate a lot that you, for your generation, is saying, give peace a chance and let us all contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we will have a contribution from Isabella Gaudioso from Mola di Bari with a poem coming from, she will tell it herself. Yes. Isabella.
The title of this poem is, of course, Peace, and it comes from Li Tianmin, a Chinese poet. It doesn't matter who you are, man, woman, old man or child, worker or farmer, soldier, student or merchant, no matter what your creed is, politic or the religious one, if they ask you what the most important thing for humanity is, answer first, after, always, peace.
Thank you, Isabella. It's a very short, but a very clear message. He gave, you gives to us. Thank you, thank you. And now we are specially greeting a guest which is emotionally very involved in these days. And I think we can understand, and with her, all the participants in this evening coming from Ukraine. It's Marina Zubko. She is a Ukrainian and she's living in Ulm. She is a famous artist in our opera, in our theater. And we will hear a song from her. And then I think she will give us a short greeting. Leo, würdest du es bitte einspielen?
Bravo, bravo.
With also this applause.
Bravo.
Marina, you are here with us. You had been, I saw you.
She was
earlier.
here.
Yes.
She was here.
For the
She
moment.
greeted everybody, but perhaps she had technical problems.
Don't know, but
perhaps I could say some words on this song. Carmen?
Yes,
If
do it.
she's not here. Yes, it's an Ukrainian folk song, and it was written by the most famous writer from Ukraine. And it tells about the freedom of Ukraine and of the beauty of the country. And it is very, very famous in Ukraine. And I met Mary the first time on a demonstration this week in Ulm, and she read a letter from her parents who are still in Ukraine, and it was so moving to hear the words from her parents. And then she sang a song for the mothers who are on the route to Western Europe, and she sang the national anthem, and I was so moved, and everybody else was too. And it was such a great honor to meet her and to speak to her. And she is doing such a lot of things here in Ulm for the refugees. She is collecting money, she has concerts and everything else. And she is so into things. And on the other hand, she has her own family. So I pray to God that He keeps her parents safe, and all the European persons who are coming to Western Europe.
Thank you, Gabi, for explaining and for presenting Marina. I would like to present you shortly Alina. She is here. She is translating this evening. Alina?
Yes, sorry, unfortunately my translation doesn't work this time. Really pity. I don't know why we tried everything, but it doesn't work.
But nevertheless, you are here, and a big thanks from my part. We met some days ago, and she is living now in Ulm, but she is coming from Ukraine. And I met her this morning because she was waiting, and they arrived, a friend, the mother of the friend and the little boy. And she, as a lot of people here and in all other countries, are helping the refugees to welcome them and to give them a bed, food, clothes, but more than this, a lot of emotions. And this is one of the most important things, I think. If you are so far away, if you're suffering and worry what is happening in your country. Alina, thank you in the name of all of us for your engagement. And if there are other people here coming from Ukraine, I don't know, I will say from all our heart, thank you so much.
No. Thank you. All of the people that attend this meeting right now, I want to thank you to all of the world that supports Ukraine, that supports the people from my country, accepts them here and does everything it can. I just cannot, I don't know, describe all my feelings. Thank you from all my heart, really. That's really important for us.
Thank you, Alina, and I hope we will stay in good cooperation. We started with a lot of people yesterday from Germans and incoming people, and to support those who need it.
For sure.
Now we will ask Gabi to sing a song. She is very impressed of singing a song, but I'm sure we all, when we hear it, we will be, or we have remembers as Gisela had at the beginning of this session. It's Weit in der Champagne.
Yes.
Gabi, go on.
Thank you. This song I heard the first time from a German singer. His name is Hannes Wader. He was a political singer, a songwriter, and so on. And my family was very into politics, and I met him the first time, I think it was about 13 or 14 years old. And I knew all his songs, and I was so impressed to meet him. And this song depends on a song from Eric Bogle, and Eric Bogle was is a Scottish Australian songwriter, and he wrote this song in the 80s. And he went to France, and he went to the soldiers' cemeteries, and then when he was there, he found a grave of a young man, and this man was only 19 years old. And so he wrote a song, The Green Fields of France. And Hannes Wader found this song, and he wrote the song in German. And I really love this song, and I want to sing it to you. Weit in der Champagne, im Mitsommergrün, dort wo zwischen Grabkreuze Mohnblumen blühen, da flüstern die Gräser und wiegen sich leicht im Wind, der sanft über das Gräberfeld streicht. Auf deinem Kreuz finde ich, toter Soldat, deinen Namen nicht nur Ziffern und jemand hat die Zahl 1916 gemalt, und du warst nicht einmal 19 Jahre alt. Ja, auch dich haben sie schon genauso belogen, so wie sie es mit uns heute immer noch tun. Und du hast ihnen alles gegeben, deine Kraft, deine Jugend, dein Leben. Es blieb nur das Kreuz als die einzige Spur von deinem Leben, doch hör meinen Schwur, für den Frieden zu kämpfen und wachsam zu sein, fällt die Menschheit noch einmal auf Lügen herein. Dann kann es geschehen, dass bald niemand mehr lebt, niemand, der die Milliarden von Toten vergräbt. Doch es finden sich mehr und mehr Menschen bereit, diesen Krieg zu verhindern. Es ist an der Zeit. Ja, auch dich haben sie schon genauso betrogen, so wie sie es mit uns heute immer noch tun. Und du hast ihnen alles gegeben, deine Kraft, deine Jugend, dein Leben. Ja, auch dich haben sie schon genauso betrogen, so wie sie es mit uns heute immer noch tun. Und du hast ihnen alles gegeben, deine Kraft, deine Jugend, dein Leben.
Thank you very much, Gabi, for this impressive song. Also, I have a lot of memories hearing this song, and perhaps also others. Now, by the way, Gabi is also a member of Eloy. A lot of you know it. And I have to give you a lot of greetings from Marina. She is ill. Unfortunately, she can't be with us this evening, but perhaps she's hearing us, I don't know.
Das müsste auch ein Bild gewesen sein.
Tina Bock
Das wird gerade
has prepared a song for us. And she had a loss yesterday, grandmother died, and she is unable to come by feelings and by time, I think. But she sent us a song by video, and we would like to present you this song because it's giving also some idea and some hopeful thoughts. This night I had a strangest dream. It's a song from Simon and Garfunkel, and perhaps you know it. Oh, the sound is missing. Leo, we hear not sound.
Gabriele, you have to choose share sound when starting the share screen. It's in the bottom
Yes, I did, but
left.
okay, just a minute, just a second. Mail. Okay. So once again.
It's working now.
Last night I had the strangest dream I've never dreamed before. I dreamt the world had all agreed to put an end to war. I dreamt I saw a mighty room. The room was filled with men, and the paper they were signing said they'd never fight again. And when the papers were all signed, 1,000,000 copies made, they all joined hands and bowed their heads, prayed for press were prayed. And the people in the street below were dancing round and round, and swords and guns and uniforms were scattered on the ground. Last night I had the strangest dream I've never dreamed before. I dreamt the world had all agreed to put an end to war.
Thank you, Tina. What a fine dream. End to war. Let us hope that it will be end very soon. We have another song now from Elena Stefanot in Cluj. She is singing a song, and it's well known in all Europe, I think, because the singer who had presented it the first time is a German singer, and she got the European Vision Prize for this, Ein bisschen Friede. And now it's in Romanian and coming from Elena Stefanot.
Crește în viscol și ger, sau jocul ce arde în ploaie și vânt, ca o păpușă uitată de pământ, mă simt uneori și eu. Și tare mi-e frică de păsări de oțel, de țipă în aer, nu vreau să le aud. Aș vrea să se audă doar cântecul meu și aș vrea să-l cânt mereu. Vreau multă pace și vreau mult soare pentru senina albastra zare, și vreau tandrețe și frumusețe, nu vreau tristețe, nici răni nu vreau. Vreau multă pace și vreau mult soare pentru planeta ce ne-a dat viață, și vreau iubire și fericire, nu vreau mâhnire, speranță vreau. Și tare mi-e frică de păsări de oțel, de țipă în aer, nu vreau să le aud. Aș vrea să se audă doar cântecul meu și aș vrea să-l cântăm mereu. Vreau multă pace și vreau mult soare pentru senina albastra zare și vreau tandrețe și frumusețe, nu vreau tristețe, nici rău nu vreau. Vreau multă pace și vreau mult soare pentru planeta ce ne-a dat viață și vreau iubire și fericire, nu vreau mâhnire, speranță vreau. Vreau mult soare și fericire, vreau iubire și pace vreau. Vreau mult soare și vreau iubire, fericire și pace vreau.
Thank you, Elena. It was very expressful. I saw that text translated in English is another text, then we are having it in German. And so we will put all the text in the website and you can study what you are knowing and perhaps what you can discovering in the text you know and also in text which you are tackling this evening for the first time. Thank you. Now we will come to an end. It's a little bit also a special end because Simon, a lot of you know him, he had been a young collaborator, a student, was unable or is unable to join us this evening, but he sent us a music piece. And it's an instrumental piece by saxophone, but he also wrote the text in German and in English. And you can see the name is Let's Go to Peace. And this is what we need. Leo, please, let's go to peace with Simon.
Hallo zusammen. Hello everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. My name is Simon. I'm a German student at Mannheim and I'm studying music and French to become a teacher. I've worked for Carmen in the Eloy team for half a year as a volunteer, and I would like to give a little contribution to this session, which is all about freedom and peace that we hope will get back soon to the Ukraine. With this little piece of music, I hope that we can get a chance to forget just for a moment all this madness and insanity which is happening in the Ukraine, and let's hope that the peace will get back soon there, that everyone can live there without having fear. And the piece I will play is called Komm wir ziehen in den Frieden from this German singer-songwriter Udo Lindenberg. Thank you very much.
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Thank you, Simon. This song, the song from Udo Lindenberg and the music, and with this impressive text performed by you, by Simon, I think I have nothing to join. We have already said, let us go to peace. Let us stand up for democratic rights. Let us suffer when it is needed, those who are suffering, and let us struggling and battling with those who are battling for democracy, and let us give peace and good feelings for all of us in this time, which is, I think, moving all of us. We have a lot of challenges, not only this terrible war, we have all challenges of pollution and climate change. And oh, I don't want to name all the challenges we have, but let us stand up for democracy. Civil society is a strong part in this world, as we heard from Gisela Ahler. And let us take also our duty, our rights and our duties. Thank you for coming in this evening. I have to say that it was a very moving evening for me, but I think also for you, to have more than 90 people coming from more than 10 countries, people of all ages, different ethnics, and to have the common wish. I think a lot to Marina, to Gabi, to Jana, and all helpers preparing this session. I thank Leo for the technique and all the actors who, without planning a lot and without have time to prepare, had been willing to contribute. We are not artists, and if something is not going on so well, it doesn't matter, because our motto is from friends for friends. So dear friends, thank you for coming. Let us continue. Let us see again in 2 weeks, but let us finish this special evening for peace and solidarity with Ukraine, with the hope, let's go to peace. Thank you very much.